Are we recording? Are we live? Here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this again. I'm getting so nervous to have all you guys actually listening to me. The numbers are going up. You guys are telling friends. You're sharing the podcast on social media. Please keep it up. It's like humbling and awesome to see the numbers grow. It's really interesting. It's really fun. And the podcast keeps going. And we've got episode 74 with Matt from KC Blues Rugby. We have a Division I amateur rugby squad here in Kansas City. And I was fortunate enough to get to talk to the captain of that squad, who is also a professional rugby player who plays for, I think it's called Rugby United in New York. You'll hear the whole story. You'll hear all that good stuff. And what more can I say? This was a fun episode. This dude was just a gorilla of a man, like 6'7", 250. Like, you don't ever get to see people like that in real life. This dude is like a superhero, just a giant. I told him this is why I played soccer my whole life. I could not imagine going up against a man like that and trying to take him down, or worse, have him try and take me down. I'm heading to the hospital if that shit happens. I ain't even. Trust me, you guys can think I'm a baby or whatever when it comes to that. But if you saw this dude and you stood next to him, woo, man, good for him. I see why he's a professional athlete. This was a good time. Go follow him on Matt Wirken. I think no, it's Wirken Maine. I just butchered that. You can find it all on my social media. Neanderthal Pod on Instagram. You guys know the deal. This was a good episode. This was a lot of fun. What more can I say? I'm so repetitive sometimes with these intros, but I just constantly have fun interviewing these people. Here it is. Without any further ado, here's Matt, episode 74. Boom, shellac, boom.
Welcome to the Inner Talk Podcast. We'll no topic is off limits. Now here's your host, my daddy, Enjoy the Soul. Oh wait, one more thing for me. Thank you for coming to the Inner Podcast. Boom, swat, boom.
1, 2, 3. Look at me. All right, I am joined with Matt from KC Blues Rugby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we have a rugby team here in Kansas City.
Yes, we do. There's a couple, but only one Division I.
Only one. So you guys are Division I?
Yeah.
What does that mean? How are the divisions laid out?
Yeah, so for amateur club rugby, it's almost semi-pro. But so we play in the men's Division I. There's only 2 Division I teams in Missouri. There's another one in St. Louis.
Of course. Are you guys rivals?
Of sorts. I mean, it used to be more of a rivalry, but thankfully we've been handling them nicely recently.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's why there's no
well,
rivalry.
Actually, the last game we played them was close, but the first game of the season we beat them by 69 points. So,
oh, that's probably a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, our scoring's similar to football.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
So yeah, that's pretty substantial.
Yeah, no kidding. That's ridiculous. Yeah, there's no rivalry when you're stomping people.
Yeah, but the last game we played them, we beat them just barely, but we'll take it. A W's a W.
So you guys are at the top amateur level? Is that what you're?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Is there a pro level?
There is, yeah. I actually play for the pro team in New York.
You do?
Yeah.
How can you play pro and amateur?
Well, because their seasons are at different times. So I actually.
But I'm surprised that an amateur organization would allow a professional play in it.
Well, that's actually like rugby's one of those sports like it's really common for the pro guys to go home and play with their home clubs or like their local county or province or whatever. Like over in New Zealand and South Africa and stuff, you have guys who are representing the national side or playing for a super rugby team, playing for local clubs, like.
And just smashing people though, right? Like.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like also at the same time, like rugby's a team sport. Like one person can make a big impact, but at the same time, like there's still a bit of balancing it out, I'd say.
Huh. Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense that there's probably not
Well, and like a lot
Yeah.
of times they use it as like a tool. Like if a guy's coming back from injury, they'll have him play for his club side for a couple weeks, and then he'd go back into the pro side
Okay.
or the international side.
So you play in New York as a pro when you
Uh-huh.
play pro.
I play for Rugby United New York.
What is that league like? Like how big is it?
There are 12 teams now. They added 3 this year. This will be the 3rd year of the pro league. It's called MLR, Major League Rugby.
Of course, nice. I like it.
Yeah.
What's the logo? Is it like a baseball, like the baseball logo or the NBA logo, but with a rugby guy? Holding up.
No, it's just like a shield that
Okay.
says MLR across it.
All right.
It's cool, but
It's Major League Rugby. That's pretty dope.
yeah, it's cool.
Wow, you're a pro rugby player.
Yeah, pretty wild.
You are the reason I played soccer my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a giant. You're a beast. I could not. There's no way I could go 1-on-1 against you. And so, especially maybe with pads and a football, I'd feel a little bit more confident. And yeah, I can go kind of low on you.
Yeah. I mean,
But no pads in a rugby. What am I gonna do to you, man? I can outrun you, maybe.
yeah, well, that helps. Or you tackle low and you tackle
Yeah,
half the
but
man.
if
So,
you're
I mean,
gonna tackle me, it's not gonna be pretty.
yeah, but I don't know. That's one of the beauties of rugby is it's for people of all different sizes.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like we have guys who are like 5'6" and 5'4" on our team.
Yeah, but how much do they weigh? I mean, if they're
Uh,
stocky, 5'6" can be a stout fella.
maybe like 175,
See, that's
180.
pretty big for a. I'm
I mean,
5.
or even less. I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest, I'm a pretty bad tell on,
Okay.
on people's weights. Like,
How big are you? How about in your pro league? How big are you compared to your teammates?
I mean, I'm among the bigger guys on
Okay.
the team. I mean, I'm 6'7", 255, so I'm up there.
You're a beast.
Um,
Jeez.
but yeah, I mean, there's definitely guys who are like as big, or a few who are bigger. Not too many.
So you're one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, I'd say
All
so.
right. Well, that's good. Couldn't imagine them getting much bigger. Damn. What did you play rugby your whole life?
I've played for 12 years now. So
How did you get involved? How old are you right now?
I'm 29.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
so
that old in rugby?
Of sorts. I mean, yeah. Like obviously it's well, not obviously, but it's similar to like football. or
Well, yeah,
other
like
sports
football.
where,
Once you hit 30, you're kind of.
yeah, but I mean, there's also some people who play up until they're like 35 or so. It really depends on your position. Like for the forwards, who are like the bigger guys who do like the grunt work and
Uh-huh.
like the hard yards. Some of those guys can play like into their mid to late 30s, but the smaller, faster guys, the backs, I feel like they tend to retire a little earlier.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know, it's hard to keep up your speed and your agility.
Oh, for sure.
As an aging guy, so
A younger guy's gonna outrun you,
yeah, exactly.
no matter how fast you used to be.
Well,
Yeah.
and in like traditional rugby nations, like there's some kids who are making their debut for their like pro sides or international sides at like 18 and 19, and some of them tear
Right.
it up. But I mean, those are special cases, but
Yeah.
they still exist.
Yeah. So,
But-
but how did you? So so you've been playing for 12 years. So since
Yeah.
you're what, 17?
Yeah. So I started my senior year of high
Okay.
school, but I grew up in like a rugby family. Like all my brothers played, my dad played.
Where are you guys from?
From Kansas City.
I didn't know rugby was really that big of a.
I mean, it's not,
I mean, I've seen a little bit here and there, but
it's not like huge, but it's definitely on the up.
is it just clubs, or is there any high schools or anything around?
There's
there?
high schools.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played. So I started playing for a high school team for the Kansas City Junior Blues.
Okay.
And that's a high school multi-school team.
Right.
And so they pull kids from all over the city, and they do really well. They've been a team that goes to nationals for as long as I can remember, which is cool. And we actually hosted the high school nationals
Oh,
the
neat.
last 2 years here in Kansas City.
Where do you guys play at?
We play at the Swope Soccer Village on 63rd Street, like right near Starlight Theater.
Yeah,
I
right
think
by the
it's
zoo
like-
and everything.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
it's like 6301 Lewis Road, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, if my memory serves me.
It's funny to me that there's like a rugby. Like what draws people to rugby as opposed to football? Like, because it's not a traditionally an American sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, for me, like,
Because you grew up in a rugby family.
well, I mean, yeah, I played football as well, and I played ice hockey, and I played lacrosse, and I wrestled as well. But like, when I started playing rugby, I got hooked instantly. Like, and the thing that I've noticed with everyone is that's the way it goes. Like, you
It's one of those things that
play
grabs
one
ya.
game and you get the itch, and you're like, wow. I'm never looking back. Like, this is amazing. It's so much fun. I mean, like, you get to run with the ball. You get to tackle people. Like, there's, like, a camaraderie and a brotherhood with rugby that is, like, it doesn't exist in other sports. Like,
it looks amazing. I used to watch it a lot when I first moved out, like, on my own. You know, I dabbled with college for a hot minute. I played soccer in college, but we would always watch. My roommate and I would always watch rugby.
mm-hmm.
We loved it. We just never really had access to it that we knew of. But it looks like this superior sport, but somehow football is the dominant sport in America.
Yeah, I mean, football's got a lot of money, and it has all the TV stations backing it and everything. So, I mean, like, I think for at least the foreseeable future, football's going to reign king. But, I mean, there's also an argument that, like, a lot of the head injuries in that, like, are less likely in rugby without pads.
Without helmets.
Yeah, but it's also because, like, the games has rules where it's more about, like, player welfare and stuff. Like, you're required to wrap when you tackle. Like, the proximity of the hits are a lot closer.
It looks like a more dangerous game.
Yeah, I mean, it is gruesome to the untrained eye, I would say.
Is it more? God, football's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean,
football's bad.
The thing is, like, people play with, like, reckless abandonment in football, and, like, they use their body as a battering ram because they have this body armor on, and, like, they think they're invincible.
Missiles.
Yeah, and then they're unconscious because they don't realize they have a sensitive brain bouncing around inside their head. So, I mean, I feel like with rugby, a lot of people play with, like, I'd say, like, not necessarily like, they're not, like, concerned about their health, but, like, I'd say you think twice a little bit more when you're, like, I mean, your only pads are your mouthpiece and maybe, like, some really thin foam shoulder pads or like a really thin foam helmet called a scrum cap, like, but, like, those just prevent from, like, minimal injuries, like, so, I mean, like,
they're probably more of a placebo than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I like to wear the like, they call it a shock top, the shoulder pads, because it like, I've noticed that I don't separate my shoulders as easily when I wear one, because I've done that a couple times, and it's not
you wrap them up or anything too? Can you wrap?
I mean, yeah, you could tape them if you want, but I don't. I mean, it's like a Under Armour shirt that has just little foam in the shoulders. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, football quarterbacks wear those underneath their pads too.
Yeah.
And then, like, to be honest, the little helmets, the scrum caps I mean, for me, it protects me more from not getting cauliflower ear than anything.
That's what I figured people would wear those for.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that it would give me less of a chance of getting a concussion, but I mean, if people get concussions in a football helmet, like, this little foam thing is not going to do that.
If you hit your head, you're gonna.
Yeah,
there's nothing. There's nothing. You hit your head. You hit your head. I mean,
but I mean, to be honest, the most important piece of protective wear that we wear is a mouthpiece.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say cup.
No, you would be very uncomfortable if you wore a cup.
There's not a special design type.
No, I mean, I've never seen anyone wear one. Like, I don't know, like, because there's, like, parts of the game where, like, as far as, like, getting into a scrum and stuff, like, I mean, like, for me to get my bind on someone, I'm, like, reaching up between their legs and I'm holding their thigh, and then my head goes on the outside of their thigh. So it's like, like, it would hurt to have, like, a plastic cup, like, digging into my arm or something. So it's like,
yeah,
gotta look out for the goods and hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I figured there'd be some kind. Maybe, like, there's not even, like you were saying, like, some compression underwear with maybe, like, a padded jock area. Maybe there needs
not
to
that
be.
I know of. Yeah, maybe.
I might have just come up with a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Marketing. I'm gonna make some money.
I don't know.
Write that down, Charlie.
I feel like half there's definitely a big culture in rugby about being tough. You know?
Sure.
Like you see memes and stuff. It's like soccer players spend 90 minutes continuing like they're hurt, and rugby players spend 80 minutes pretending like they're not hurt. You know? So it's just like, I mean, there's stories about there's a guy who played for, I want to say it was the New Zealand All Blacks, but he actually split his scrotum in a game, went off the field, had it stitched up, and he went back in and finished the game. Like, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know, like
How does that get torn?
Like me as a teammate, to like
the All Blacks aren't really people though. Those are.
I mean,
like,
they're superhumans. But
they are superhumans.
But they did lose yesterday to England, which is pretty crazy in the World Cup.
Oh yeah.
But like for me, like for instance, like when we're playing games and like my teammates go down, like my first thing to them is like, "You're fine, get up, come on, you're good, you're good,
Right?
Like, let's go, let's keep rolling." Like, and I feel like sometimes like that little push is all some people need, and sometimes like no, like this person's actually hurt, like let's get the trainer out here. So it just depends. I don't know. I mean,
have you seen any like horrible gut wrenching injuries on the field?
I mean, like people breaking arms and legs.
Yeah, like a leg going the opposite way. Or something.
that's never pleasant. I mean, personally, I've torn my ACL. That wasn't very awesome, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like gruesome per se.
Right.
But like
Gruesome to you.
Yeah, exactly. But like it's not like
It's a bad one.
Yeah. It was less than enjoyable, but thankfully that was quite some time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have in your pro league, MLR?
Mm-hmm.
How long has that been going on?
This will be the third year.
This is the third year of the league.
Yeah, we start up in February is when those games start.
How many fans are coming to these games?
You know, it really varies. Like for instance, for our games, we play out on Coney Island, which is a bit of a hike. But I mean, for like sometimes we get upwards of 3,000 people there. It just depends. But that's a lot. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't say that's consistent though. But I mean, I would say we get probably at least 1,000 to each game.
Nice.
But then again, there's teams like the Seattle team, the Seattle Seawolves. They 2 years in a row now have sold out their entire season.
Wow.
In the stadium, which is pretty crazy.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just something.
There's nothing to do out in Seattle.
Maybe that's what it is.
They're
but
just
I mean,
looking for shit
the Pacific
to do.
Northwest, they get behind their sports teams, which is pretty
That's
cool.
true. They do.
So I mean, yeah, like I think it's going to continue to catch on, and most everyone who I invite to games or who stumbles upon a rugby game, they watch it like, oh, like this is tight. This is cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to try and go out of my way to see more of this or be a part of it, you know. So
how many go to the games here in Kansas City for the Kansas City Blues?
It really varies. Like yesterday, I would say we had about 150 or so.
Okay,
maybe 200.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, and
it's amateur rugby in Kansas City. That's pretty good, I would think.
Yeah, well, and it's kind of funny. Like for instance, yesterday, after the game, there was 2 English gentlemen at the game, and they said that they found us on Google and they came out to the park.
Nice.
And they just happened to watch the game, and I was chatting with them. But like, I mean, it's really cool. Like, you know, that like rugby is one of those games. Like, you could be anywhere in the world, and like, for instance, you're at a bar and you start talking to the guy next to you. It turns out he played rugby. You guys are instantly friends. Like,
okay.
Like, it's one of those sports.
I
Like,
get
oh,
that.
you played rugby? Like, all right, you know what's up.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you're
funny.
down with it. And like, that's just like the cool part about it. Like, what other sport do you beat the crap out of each other for 80 minutes, and then after the game, you're standing with the guy who you might have had a cheap shot on or had a cheap shot on you or something like that, and you guys are clinking beers and talking about like, oh, that was a good hit, bro. Like, that was awesome. So glad we did this. Like, you know. And
Nice.
that's like, that doesn't exist in other sports. Like,
No, it doesn't.
it's more like, hey, F those guys. We're not trying to be like
That's
that.
all.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, I mean, shoot, I think about high school football. Like, when we would leave our rivals, our coaches would make us keep our helmets on getting on the bus because, like, people used to throw rocks and stuff at the bus. Like, that never personally happened to me, but that's why they have people do it.
Yep.
And so it's like nothing like that exists in rugby. Like, it's, I don't know. It's way, like, there's just, like.
It's rugby culture.
Yeah, rugby culture, and it's just, like.
A little more refined.
Yeah, more. I mean, it's a gentleman's game. Like,
Huh.
like, that's.
I mean, that makes sense because you guys are out there without pads.
Yeah.
You guys are. There is. I can see that there will be this mutual unspoken respect.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, I'm not trying to murder you. I'm just trying to win the game. Don't want to injure you. Like, nobody wants to injure anybody.
Like, we're enemies in between the lines for those 80 minutes, but we're boys after. Like, it's all good. Like, I mean, and even for instance, like yesterday, like,
And the fans are cool with that because.
yeah, well, and it's like even yesterday, they're like, so we like, I had a good run yesterday in our game, and like the guy who tackled me is like, hey, nice run, man, and it's just like, all right, yeah, cheers, like on to the next play. You know, it's just like that doesn't really exist in a lot of other sports.
Who are you guys playing? Who is the amateur teams, or like who are you guys playing?
So yesterday we played the Milwaukee Barbarians.
Wow, you guys travel, dude.
Oh yeah, we travel. Yeah.
How you guys? How do you pay for everything?
Well, so a part of it. It isn't free to play. You have club dues.
For sure.
But then again, we also have sponsorships, and we are a 501c3, so those who are so inclined are able to donate to the team as well.
Oh, nice.
And we have fundraisers, and so, I mean, the club covers a lot of expenses. The players cover some expenses, and it balances out. But yeah, like we're not hopping on jets to go to these.
I wouldn't.
Like,
I would imagine
some people,
so.
some lucky few are taking flights and meeting up with the boys in other cities, but typically we're renting 2 15-passenger vans and loading them up. We'll have one that leaves early on Friday and one that leaves late on Friday, depending on when people can get off work. And we head out, and we get there when we get there. I mean, so in our division of the league, we go to Davenport, Iowa to play Palmer Chiropractic College, but they're a men's team.
But you're playing. They're a college team.
Well, so they're affiliated with the college. But
Okay.
it's a men's team.
Okay.
They compete in the men's division. They don't compete in college.
Okay.
And you don't have to be like college age to play for them.
Okay.
As far as I know. And then they're in St. Louis, they have the St. Louis Bombers. In Minneapolis, Minnesota, they have Metropolis. I think they're the Metropolis Metro Men. Pretty funny name, but
funny is one word.
And I think those 4 are, yeah, I think that's it for who we play right now. Well, and then so in 2 weeks we'll have the league final in Chicago, and
Oh, neat.
I think it's looking like we'll either be playing the Chicago Lions or the Detroit Tradesmen.
Oh, cool.
I don't know where their standings are.
You guys are gonna play them? You
Yeah,
guys are number 1 in this league?
We are
Or in
number
the
1. Yeah, we're currently
Division? What would it be?
Yeah, division. We're currently 7-0. We're in first place.
Dang.
Yeah, we've been crushing it. We've had a really, really good fall. So that's pretty awesome.
Why are you guys crushing it?
I mean, we got a great group of guys. We have an amazing coach, James Patterson, and the boys have really bought into what he's trying to do, and we're playing some really good, exciting to watch rugby.
How long has this team been together? Like this?
This particular collective, I mean, it actually has really come together this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I play for New York, so I actually normally live in New York, but I'm born and raised in Kansas City. And I was talking to our club president, Chris George, and essentially I was like, I'd like to come back to Kansas City if there's a way. And we got to talking, and they wanted me to come back and captain the side, and I was more than interested because, I mean, I bleed blue. I love this team so much.
Really?
Yeah. And
that's cool, man.
so I came back, and it was just convenient, just a lot of the right pieces fell into place. We had a couple other guys who play in MLR coming into town, and we recruited a couple guys, and I mean, I don't know. It's
it
just
seems pretty serious for.
Oh no, it's very serious.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it sounds casual and whatever, saying amateur or whatever, but I mean, it is.
No, I get it.
It's a well-oiled machine, and it takes a lot of people for it to go as smoothly as it does, and we take it incredibly seriously. And I think that our record and the way that we play rugby, I mean, speaks volumes to that. I mean, it's me as a captain. I'm serious as can be. No nonsense. We have a job to do. We're setting out to do it. We're gonna get it done.
How many people are on the team? Total.
Well, so we actually have 2 teams. We have a Division I and a Division II team.
Okay.
But so each week, there's a 23-man roster for each team, and then there's only 15 people playing at a time.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's some serious competition for certain positions. And I mean, it's the sort of thing where you're paying X amount of dollars to be a part of this, but you also got to bust your ass to
you got to earn it.
Yeah, earn a spot and keep a spot.
That makes sense. I mean, I think everybody understands that.
Yeah, exactly. And so I mean, it's the sort of thing. It's like why would we do this half-assed? I mean, there are social rugby clubs where guys go out and they're more about drinking beer and having a good time and having buddies, which that's all good and well.
Sure.
But I mean, we are very serious. We take it seriously. We want to win.
Some of you guys are pros. Of course we take it serious.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. It's just if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Why half-ass it?
It's my motto.
Yeah. So.
Plus, that's when injuries happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you get hurt is when you're not going 100.
Right.
You take a play off, that's when something happens, like, unfortunately, or, you know, like.
And most of these dudes are, I mean, so it's the amateur level. So these people have like 9 to 5s.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've got lawyers, real estate agents, salesmen, brokers, like we're all over the place. We got a couple scientists, but I mean, so like, that's the other thing. Like it being amateur, it can be difficult for people balancing 9 to 5 and rugby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I feel like I'm a bit of a special case. I'm like, rugby's before everything. Like, oh, sorry, I can't come to work.
Yeah.
I have rugby. Like, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's just like, for me, it's just like I caught the itch my senior year of high school, and I never looked back. Like, I was gonna go to K-State and walk on there and play football. I had a roommate and everything. I was like about to be picking classes and stuff, and I was like watching football, and I couldn't watch football and not think of it in rugby terms. And I was like, you know what, like, I think I'm making a mistake trying to go back to this. Well, and the thing is also, like, I was a big guy my senior year of high school. I was like 300 plus pounds at one point.
Jeez.
And I lost all this weight playing rugby because, like, you can't just be like a fat slob lineman, you know?
Right.
Like, you're not, like, those guys are having to play for like at max like 12 seconds at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, granted, sometimes that's a sprint for those 12 seconds, but like for us, we're nonstop, non-going, like
Right.
Nonstop and ongoing. Sorry. And like, you have to run, you have to be able to tackle, you have to get up and off the ground when you get tackled, or, you know, so it's just like, I mean, it's essentially, think about it, like you're running and you just
cardio.
doing burpees or like,
Oh yeah.
you know, so it's just like,
Are you getting subbed in and out often, or?
no, so rugby's like soccer.
Okay.
Once you get subbed off, you're done for the game. You can't go back in. The only time where you can come off for a bit is like if you have a blood sub, like if you get a cut somewhere
Sure.
and they just need to patch the blood up,
Okay.
because obviously people don't want to get bled on and whatnot. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that and at the highest levels, they have like for head injuries, they have what they call HIA. I believe that's head injury assessment, and that's when the guys go off and they get checked by a neurologist, and then based upon what that guy says, either they go back in or they put in a sub permanently for them. So it's just like once again, back to player welfare, you know? Like,
Yeah.
So I mean, but I guess that's kind of what they have in the NFL too, with those blue tents on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
But
Do you guys have at the pro level like stringent drug testing?
they adhere to WADA, like World Anti-Doping Agency protocols. But yeah. So
Yeah, I was kind of curious, but not the amateur level.
no, there's nothing. Yeah. So I mean, that's actually another thing that's kind of funny. Like, you sometimes see that one guy on the other team. You're like,
What do you mean the other team?
I mean, they're not. I don't know any on my team.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
bet not. I'm not asking to rat anybody out.
Definitely not. But no, I mean, like, you can see like that guy definitely is on the juice or something, you know, like. But
What do you think about that? If you see a guy over there that's clearly his veins are popping and he's just looking extra swole.
I mean, I could care less. The thing is, just because he does that stuff, that doesn't mean he's a good rugby player. Rugby is far
Right,
more.
but are you cool with it being at that amateur level if people are doing it?
I mean,
Would you promote it?
I wouldn't promote it. Definitely not.
No?
I mean, no. But like,
Maybe just like testosterone. Man. I'm not saying like
I mean, they can do what they
DECA
want.
trend. I'm not saying like a full on cycle, but you know, maybe just some testosterone and
I mean, they can do what they want.
yeah.
If it makes them better at rugby, is what it is. But like, I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't know. When I was playing, so kind of back to my story. When I decided to not go to K-State and stay in Kansas City and play rugby, I was an 18-year-old playing on this team, the Kansas City
Dope.
Blues. So on a men's team. And we had a couple of big, like, Polynesian guys on our team, like, massive. And
Cool.
during training, like, one day a week, we'll do, like, full-on contact sessions. And there's a guy named Siva Talley, who's a legend of the Blues and a great guy. And
Shout out to him.
yeah, shout out to him. And like, he was just a beast. And like, looking at him, just like, holy crap, like, this guy's huge. But like, I tackled him, like, and then I tackled him over and over again. And it's like, yo, if I can tackle Siva, I can tackle anyone. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're. But like, the thing is also, it's like, it takes you a bit of time to like realize like
Yeah.
what you can do. But also the beauty of it is like, you don't have to tackle the guy head on. Like, rugby lines are different than football lines. So like, you can tackle half of the man and you can go below his hips or below his knees, tie his feet up, like, so it's like, you don't like, it goes back to like working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, and that's how guys who are like 5'4" and 5'6" can tackle guys like me who are 6'7", so it's just like.
Is any part of you be like, damn, how did this guy get me? This part of you like, man?
Oh, there's some guys who are that size and they play like they're 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like it just depends on the guy. And I mean, I personally don't care. I'm not going to like lose sleep over that or anything.
But you might get up and like you don't look down at him like.
I mean, hey, that might be one of those instances
If
where I'm
I
like, hey man,
tackled you?
great tackle, good work, bro.
Right.
Let's
Respect.
see how many more times you can do
Right.
that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because eventually it's gonna break.
Oh yeah.
if it
I'd
is
be
a sort of thing
I
like
would be
that.
happy to do it just once, and then I'd stay on the other side of the field the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, and there's times when those guys come into a clash together, and the little guy gets rolled backwards like a bowling ball.
Right. I'm sure.
I mean, it goes always,
So when is your guys' is it? So you go to Chicago?
No, so we have one more home game next weekend on Saturday at the Swope Soccer Village versus Palmer.
Who's
And
Palmer?
Palmer is the school from Davenport, Iowa.
Oh, okay.
The chiropractic college.
Yeah.
And we're playing them at 1:30 this Saturday, and it should be pretty fun.
Does it cost money to get in?
Yeah, it costs $5, not much, and they sell beer at the games and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll have food sometimes as well.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's we put on a pretty good match day as well. Obviously Swope Soccer Village is a soccer complex, but they do have a few fields where we can put rugby, like proper rugby posts up, and we transform those fields into our stadium for those days.
Oh really?
Which is cool. Yeah, we put up banners of our sponsors.
Oh nice.
We put up crowd restraints, and we have a scaffolding with like an MC and some music.
Oh wow.
And we film on that scaffolding as well.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, I mean we
It's
pride
legit.
we pride ourselves on how we do it. Like a lot of people don't do it to the standard or the level that we do, which that's fine. That's good for them.
Are you guys the top of the heap?
I mean, I would say we're up there. Yeah. I mean, apart from the people, like there are a couple teams that have like proper stadiums, but.
Oh, okay. Probably Seattle or Portland or whoever.
Well, so the first ever rugby only stadium exists in Denver, Colorado, or Glendale, Colorado.
Okay.
And that's called Infinity Park. And so the Glendale club that is there, they've had that for a while. And I mean, like it's kind of funny though. But the thing is, like for our stuff to work, like we come together as a club. Like for instance, yesterday we all arrived before our second side's game, and we set up the field. We set up the scaffolding, crowd restraints, banners, tents, whatever is necessary. Then they play their game, we play our game, and then they take down.
Oh, okay.
And, and it's just like, but it's cool though. Like it's everyone helps. Many hands makes light work, and also just like it adds to the experience. It makes it. It's just another reason to take it seriously.
Brings you guys closer too.
100%. But it's just like we don't do that for nothing. Like we put on the persona and the view that like this is the real deal. Like and like we back it up with the rugby we play, which is great.
Yeah. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, I got so many questions.
Hey, you're all right.
How
man.
often do you guys practice?
We practice twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
And then in game every week, or
we had one bye week this year. But yeah, so every week otherwise. So and it's like probably almost 3-month season.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's perfect. And so the championship after this is in Chicago?
Yeah, that's the league final. Apparently our like the national championship playoffs and all that are in the spring. But the problem is that's when the pro league will be going. So all of our pro guys will be gone. That's actually something that USA Rugby really needs to sort out, because in every other rugby nation, there's the time of the year where people play club or like represent their province or whatever, and then they play pro, and it's just they don't conflict. People shouldn't have sense. Yeah. People shouldn't have to.
It's
miss
a small
out.
enough community that you should be able to.
Well, it's the sort of thing though. It makes no sense for it to be like why should the Kansas City Blues suffer when guys who are members of the team can't be there because they're playing like at a higher
Professionally,
level.
yeah.
Like, and the whole thing is, it's like, obviously you want to strive for the top.
Mm-hmm.
So like, why wouldn't you cater to that? You know, like that's honest. It's really dumb that's how they're handling it too.
Why is that? Like, who's
I mean, I think it's just because
pulling the strings or not pulling the strings on this?
I think it's just because the pro league's new enough that they haven't really kind of worked out all the kinks yet, which
it's only 3 years old, so yeah, I guess they could probably.
It's a darn shame though, to be honest. Like,
Oh, for sure, sounds like it.
yeah, but I'd like to think that they'll get it sorted out. And I mean, there's not really weather restrictions now, but they become weather restrictions for like the likes of the Midwest and like the northern part of the country where everyone's getting snow and sleet and cold weather.
Yeah.
Where like the teams in Texas are just starting up their season.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think we just need to get it more like parallel, where you play club rugby, you have the finals, and then the pro season starts. You know, I mean, it makes no sense to me. Like,
Yeah. And okay, so now there is obviously, I mean, since there's a pro league, I imagine there's a national league that competes. I don't know, is it in the Olympics or anything? It's not an Olympic game, is it?
Well, so rugby sevens is in the Olympics, but not rugby, like not 15s.
Okay.
But like the Rugby World Cup is going on right now. The U.S. has a team. They're called the Eagles.
Is that big? This is like the big thing? Is it like the Soccer World Cup? Like this is the biggest event in rugby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And, yeah, they're actually.
Oh, that's where you were saying it's a big deal that the All Blacks lost to England.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a big deal.
That's a huge deal. The All Blacks don't lose very often.
Right.
But yeah, England killed them. Well, they didn't kill them, but they put up a good fight and they beat them by 12, which not many people can even say they've ever beat the All Blacks. So
Right.
But yeah, I mean so like obviously, yeah, that's the highest thing to strive for is playing for the Eagles. But I mean
Do all the Eagles players play in the MLR?
Not all of them. Some of them
Some
do.
play in like other leagues, huh?
Yeah, there's
Bigger
some
leagues.
play overseas.
Mhm.
But it really just depends. But like the thing is, the beauty of the MLR is that's only going to raise our standard of play and make our guys better, and hopefully make our national team better and more competitive. Because I mean,
Probably not too competitive, I'm guessing.
at the moment we're not doing as well as we would like. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't win a single game at the World Cup, which is a shame. I mean, we had a
It's
hard
America.
pool.
I mean, that's one of those sports where our top athletes just don't go.
Exactly. You know, and
Not enough money.
it's yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head.
Mhm.
But I mean, like we had a hard pool and stuff, but it's like, shoot, if we could have won one game at least. I mean, like we've beaten Tonga before, but they beat us, you know, and it's like, and that was our last game of the World Cup, and it's just like, it's pretty frustrating and disheartening, you know, and it's just like some nations are just miles ahead of us. And
Well, yeah, I mean, that's their.
well, yeah, and I mean when you
culture,
when
you
you
know what I
have kids growing up playing rugby, obviously they're
Yeah,
already
you didn't start playing until you were
20
17 or whatever. Yeah.
exactly. So it's like they're already so far ahead of us. But I mean, we're closing the gap, but we're still a ways off, sadly. But
Well, it's clear we as a country have the athletes. I mean, we dominate in any other.
exactly,
Type
we
big
have
thing.
the athletes.
Could you
but-
imagine some? Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, exactly. Imagine if like LeBron James played rugby, or like some of these tight ends or D linemen. Like
Yeah.
if those guys were playing rugby, like I don't know how you would have an answer for those types of athletes. But until it becomes financially,
That's what all
like-
those sports say.
yeah,
yeah.
until it makes sense for them to do it, not many people are going to pick rugby over a multi-million-dollar contract.
Rugby needs some serious marketing where they need to steal football people away.
Well, and I would say that is slowly happening, especially with all these head injuries that are occurring.
That's the thing. You guys got to capitalize on that. You got to use. You got to be ugly about it and just say, look, we're not making our old people into soup brains when they turn 65.
Fair.
However, how are you guys walking when you get older?
I mean, I'm thankfully not older yet. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, my old man played for 25, 30 years, and he's not the most stable walker per se. But I mean, I don't know. Like any sport, it's hard on your body.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the price you pay, and
Mhm.
you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah. You think you do.
Yeah, true.
When
Very
you're
true.
18, you think, oh, I can sign up. I can sign up for this and beat my body up. It's not going to affect me when I'm older. I'm 18 and invincible.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I've said to myself for a long time, I was like, I'm going to play rugby as long as I physically possibly can at the highest level I physically possibly can. So,
How many years you got left in MLR, do you think?
who knows? I mean, we'll see.
What's like a professional level age? Is there like a, so you played hockey? I assume you know a little bit. So
Mhm.
there's like the Chris Chelios of the world.
Yeah.
Is there like a rugby Chris Chelios, like an older?
Of sorts. I mean,
even Tom Brady, I guess. Tom Brady's 42.
Yeah,
That's pretty
that's an
freaking old.
anomaly.
Is there
yeah.
a 42-year-old rugby player? Pro rugby player?
Not that I know of. I mean, there was one guy, I want to say he played for Japan in the World Cup, and he's like 38 or 40.
It's pretty old.
That's pretty old, especially for, like you're saying, like, it's pretty tough on your body.
Yeah.
Like,
If you got those miles racked up
well,
on
yeah,
you.
and I think of some people who are that age, like, they're not the most mobile people, but rugby is one of those sports where mentality takes you very far. You know, like if you set your mind to something and you have a mentality and you require a certain standard of yourself and those around you, whatnot, like that's going to take you very far. And like, if you're some old tough dude, like, mess with me, young kids, you know, like,
Yeah.
and clearly it worked for him. I mean, he's playing in a World Cup, so
It's a badass.
yeah, exactly.
Complete badass. Did you play on the national team?
No, I've not. I have not. It's a tough squad to make.
I'm sure it is. It's the national team.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be, top, whatever, 1%
Yeah, definitely.
of the top 1%. I might take my kids there one of these days.
Yeah, you should.
That'd be fun.
This next Saturday.
This next Saturday. If it's nice out and they're not sick still, they've been battling
Oh yeah,
illnesses left and right.
'tis the season.
Mm-hmm. I just got rid of my cough yesterday. It lasted like 13 days or something.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. I wish you guys had a bigger rivalry with St. Louis.
No, I know. I mean, when I first started playing for the Blues, I would say it was stronger then. I mean, it is like they're the cross-state rival, but I mean, I don't know. It's like the thing is, there was a while they dropped down to Division II, so we weren't even playing against them.
Oh, wow.
But they moved
Why
back
don't
up.
they have? How come they're not good in St. Louis?
I mean, it's not.
They
that
just
they're
don't
not
like
good.
rugby over there?
No, they're very good. I mean, I went to a university right outside St. Louis called Lindenwood, and they have an amazing rugby program, and it's fully funded varsity program, and they're starting to funnel guys into the Bombers, which is good. You know, like it's raising the standard. I mean, if every team gets better, everyone gets better, which is good.
Right.
And I'm not saying that St. Louis isn't good per se, but I mean,
I am. I am.
fair enough. I
Hey,
mean,
St. Louis Bombers, you guys suck, and we stole your Blues hockey name.
it's
Shots
so
fired.
funny. I have some good friends on that team, and respect to them.
Yeah,
Fair
well,
play
they're
to
not my
them.
friends.
Hey, see, but that's also where rugby culture comes in.
Look, I'm
Like,
trying to start a rivalry here.
hey,
That's all.
I mean, there is a rivalry.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
I'm
right.
saying it fizzled out for a little when we weren't getting to play them when they were playing Division II and not Division I. But now that they're back in it, it's reignited. I would say.
Good.
I'm just happy that we're 2-0 on the year against them.
Yeah. Hell yeah. You guys are 7-0, about to be 8-0.
Yes, sir. Followed by
Are
9-0.
you guys gonna win the?
Yeah.
You guys pretty easily.
Not easily, no.
No,
It's not easily.
but you're pretty confident.
I'm confident.
Nice.
I back our boys. You know, I'm all about manifesting positivity. I've already decided we're not going to lose any games this fall.
I was gonna have some Fosters in here. I don't know why, but I assumed you people like Fosters.
You'd be better off with Guinness, I would say.
Guinness, all right.
I mean, to be honest,
I like Guinness better. I don't like Fosters necessarily.
Foster's is piss.
It is piss. It is piss. I'm a beer snob. I normally drink craft stuff, but I just, for some reason, I was like, I think people would probably like some Fosters.
Admittedly, I'm these days I'm trying to slim down a bit, so I'm more of a vodka soda guy.
Actually, you know what? That's funny. I have switched to the same thing too.
Yeah.
I'm like a huge beer snob. I love beer, but I've recently changed over to vodka soda.
My thing is more
For
like
my
I'll
cat,
have a
yeah.
beer. I'd prefer a beer with a meal,
Right?
but like I don't need to drink a bunch of beers on a night. I'd rather have some vodka sodas. That'd be a little lighter on me.
Yeah.
But
You guys are some partiers though, huh?
we like fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I assume rugby players, they seem like partiers to me.
There's definitely a bit of a culture associated
Is
with
there?
rugby and having fun.
Mainly a drinking culture.
I mean, I suppose. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that like pretty unanimous? Like are the All Blacks and the English and the
Well, I mean,
are they all drinkers, big drinkers?
it's not like the way that some clubs are, where like I was saying, how there's some of those social clubs, like you'll see guys drinking beers before games on a social team.
Okay.
Or like on the sideline, like that. And that's the thing that's kind of funny is like rugby's pastime is like old guys in like big, like heavy jerseys with a keg on the sideline. But
Right.
like the thing is, the sport has gotten so much more
Professional.
and beyond that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But like at the same time, I mean, like work hard, play hard. You know, like,
Right.
we work our ass off for the game. We earn a night out with the boys. You know, and obviously, I mean, people get on it. People have fun.
Yeah, you guys must draw a lot of attention. All these just giant rugby players drinking.
It's definitely an attention grabber for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and we sang our victory song last night. At,
Oh, you guys have a
at the
song, of
club.
course.
Yeah. It's not exactly the most appropriate, but it's cool.
That's perfect. I wouldn't expect it to be appropriate.
Yeah, but the thing that's cool is it's a victory song, so we only sing it when we win, and that's the beauty of it. And it's like some of the guys will be like, "Come on, boys, I want to sing today."
Yeah.
You know, like which is cool. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a treat, you know, and like you belt it out and like you just gives you a warm feeling inside. You know, you look around, you're belting it out with your mates. It's fun. It's good.
I've never had anything like that.
It's an interesting experience, you know.
That would be cool.
We didn't always have a song until one of the guys on our team came back from playing abroad,
Mm-hmm.
and he brought the song with him, and he adapted it from the club that he played
Oh.
for there for us,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah. That is cool. It's cool to bring different cultures together and bringing different things, you know, bringing the best of stuff. You guys
Yeah.
are cultural appropriating
Exactly.
other rugby squads. It's not very woke. You guys might get canceled. Kansas City Blues, you guys are canceled.
Nah.
Goodbye.
Nah. Blues are moving onward and upward. We're on.
Yeah,
the
that's
rise.
awesome. I'm really glad that there's like some cool shit like this going on.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, like, I think that a lot of people would really like it and really enjoy it. It's just that, you know, the word's not exactly out there. And
Yeah, I found you guys through Instagram. That's the only way I found out through you.
We're glad you did.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I hope a lot of people will hear this and maybe get interested and check you guys out.
Yeah, that'd be
Or
awesome.
check out wherever they're at. I mean, I got listeners all over.
Yeah, if you
check
guys
out
are
the-
listening, November 2nd, 1:30, Swope Soccer Village. Come on out.
Is there is the MLR on TV at all?
Yeah. So our games are played on ESPN Plus and
Oh, really?
CBS Sports.
Is there any like YouTube action we can get?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you Google MLR, there's tons of stuff to watch. Highlights, full games.
Really? Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm going to check some of this shit out.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you're the New York what?
Rugby United New York.
Rugby United New York.
Rooney for short.
Oh, yeah. Rugby.
RUNY.
How long have you been playing on pro?
I've played 2 pro seasons, and then this year will be my 3rd.
Is there like a draft? Like, how did you end up in New York?
So I actually started in New Orleans. That's the first team I played for. And it was just kind of so people knowing people putting me in contact with the general manager of New Orleans, and I talked with him, sent him some game film,
Mm-hmm.
and they invited me down to come and play for them, and had a great first year there. And then I came back home to Kansas City, and I had an opportunity to go to New York to play club rugby for the New York Athletic Club.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was there, I got picked up by Rooney, and I mean, I halfway went to go play for the New York Athletic Club in hopes and slightly knowing that I was going to be in Rooney's backyard and have a chance of playing for them because I wasn't really set on going back to New Orleans.
How come?
Just
It's New Orleans.
I mean, New Orleans is great, but also just like I wanted to check out some other places, and it just
Really
the opportunity.
not that great.
No, they were great. I mean, they were good.
Are all the teams pretty evil? Even?
For the most part, there was one Cleveland Browns team in our
Okay,
league.
yeah.
Yeah, and God bless their souls, but
At least they're trying.
yeah, they're trying, and I wish them the best. I hope that they can turn it around. I mean, it kind of sucks having a team like that, and
Right.
it's better when everyone's like
Competitive
and stuff. And I mean, and like that's the thing that's also really cool is this last year, like at least the first few weeks of the season, all the games were then like one score.
Oh, that's
which is
fun.
cool. So it's
That's
like
fun.
yeah,
That's what you want.
yeah. So and I mean, it's cool that the level of play is still coming up, and then the competitiveness is also coming up. And so yeah.
But there's not there wasn't a draft. Like, is
say
there
that
trading? There's not like trading.
there is trading.
Yeah.
It's very rare. But I have heard of people being traded before. But apparently they do have plans of having a draft eventually.
Okay.
I don't think that they are going to have right now. But like the thing is, like the money isn't there to the point where people would willingly be drafted to go to a city somewhere. So it's like a lot of the people who are on some of these teams are from these areas
Okay.
already. Like they're the premier players in that region.
That's really cool.
So like that.
I like that because a New
Yeah.
York team is actually mainly New York people, right?
Yeah, I mean, and then a random guy from the Midwest.
Right.
But but it's just like
It's almost like college sports.
a little.
Well,
yeah.
I guess how college used to maybe like how
Yeah.
it used to be, anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, it is cool how like people like I was saying, like maybe it'll get to the point where the money's good enough where they'll have a draft and people will be stoked to get drafted by whoever to go
Mhm.
wherever. But right now, it's like I feel at least for marketing purposes, for some teams are like, oh, our hometown kids,
No,
like,
for sure that would bring me out there.
Yeah,
There's not a Kansas City team,
yeah.
but that'd be dope.
Someday I would like that.
Can't you guys, once you guys win the championship here, guy, you know what? We're going to start a Kansas City MLR. Like,
Yeah, I mean
I'm sure they're going to be looking for more teams.
They tried to initially, but some financial backing fell through. It'd be cool if they sorted it out, but I have no idea when or if that will happen. Hopefully, I'm still playing then.
You guys couldn't just say, hey, we'll do it. We'll do everything. Like,
I mean,
change nothing. Just put us in that league. We can hang.
I mean,
I guess some stuff would have to change, huh?
a lot would have to change. Yeah,
Bummer.
I mean, and I like our team is great, but I think we would probably have a tough time, like competing. I mean, we would do well against some teams in the MLR, but we would get probably smoked by a few.
Big difference between
And it
the
actually
top
pains me to
amateur,
say that.
yeah.
I don't like saying that at all.
It is what it is.
I mean,
These guys
they're
have real
professionals.
jobs.
They
These guys have
should,
real
yeah.
jobs.
Yeah, it is professional versus amateur.
Yeah.
So I say that.
You
But
got accountants out there opposed to.
I will. They're like, granted, don't get me wrong. There's guys who play in the MLR that have day jobs as well.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I mean, like the money's not there. Where I mean, some people are able to only play rugby and live off that money.
Who's the top U.S. rugby guy? Is there one?
No, I don't know. There's no like name that just comes to my mind like that.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe someday there will be. I mean, there might be for other people.
There's not a guy on the national team or a couple guys like, oh, yeah, these 2 guys or 3 guys are like
I mean,
the pinnacle of U.S. rugby.
there's some ballers, but no. Like, I don't know.
No?
No one comes to mind.
That's funny.
I mean, like I have some friends on the team too, and they're great, but I don't know. I like no. There's no like Captain America. He's our guy, like.
Okay.
But hopefully soon, someday. Maybe once we start competing better with Tier 1 nations, that
Yeah.
guy will exist.
Yeah. Maybe, hopefully. I'm bummed. I would think there would be at least some name or two you could be like, oh, yeah, that's our Michael Jordan.
I mean, to me personally, I
Yeah.
would say the best player on our team is a guy named Joe Tafate.
Joe Tafate.
Yeah, and he plays hooker, and he is a beast. And he runs hard, tackles hard, does his job well.
What's the difference between rugby and Australian rules football? Do you know? Do you know much about like?
I know a little bit about it. Like in Aussie rules, you like every 5 steps you take, you have to bounce the ball.
Do you guys don't have to bounce the ball?
No.
Okay.
So for us in rugby, you can only to advance the ball, you can only run it forward or you can kick it forward. Every pass has to be lateral or backwards.
Okay. And then how much is a touchdown? And what do you call it?
We call it a try.
Okay.
But the thing that's funny, in order to score a try, you have to touch it down with downward pressure in the end zone. And it's worth 5 points. And then the kick after is for 2. So 7, just like football.
That's what that is. That's why they
yeah.
put it down.
Yeah. But
Why?
Well, so like the thing is, like people can be tackled in the end zone, and if they're not able to put the ball down, they call it held up, and then that results in a scrum. So it's like that's a stop. You know, it's like instead of in football where if the guy's in the end zone, he's in the end zone.
You just have to put it down on the ground.
Downward pressure. Or
Downward
it's not
pressure?
A score. Yeah.
What is downward pressure? I mean, does that mean that's it?
However, you can have the ball in your arms and you can dive and fall.
Okay.
You know, but like the other thing is the thing that's really
And that's
cool
worth
about
5 points?
That's worth 5 points. But the thing about rugby is wherever you put the ball down in the end zone, the kick has to be directly on that line. So when you score, you want to score, you want to center it so that you get a shot head on. But sometimes you score it all the way on the sideline, and some of these guys are slotting kicks from the sideline, like
Big old
45-degree angle. You know, it's crazy. And
how far is the kick?
So the thing is, you can have it as close or as far as you want. It just has to be on the line of where you scored it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, so they can move it so that the angle's in their favor.
Right.
But
It's further.
It's further. It's more difficult. But some guys can slot these, and it's unbelievable.
How do you kick it? Does someone have to hold it like a?
No, there's a tee. So you put it on a tee.
Just a regular football type tee.
It's a little different.
Slightly different.
Yeah, but it's pretty miraculous how some guys slot these kicks from the sideline, and some guys will like loop it or bend it or whatever. It's unbelievable.
How many kickers are on a team? Do you have like a designated kicker?
Typically, you have a designated kicker.
Just one?
I mean, normally you have more than one guy because just in case injuries happen or whatever.
But like for a game, this is the dude that kicks every time.
Typically, yes. Yeah. And some teams will have it where like, okay, this guy gets anything within like 30 meters, and then if it's out of 50, we have one guy who can just bomb it. You know.
But he's not accurate.
It depends. I mean,
Yeah.
on my team, the same person takes all the kicks.
Okay.
So if he gets subbed off, we have like a few people down the line. But
How much is a kick worth?
2 points. But it also
Okay.
we have kicks that are similar to field goals. Like when a penalty happens in a game, you have the option to kick for the post.
No matter where the penalty is?
Well, I mean, yeah, but you don't want to do it if it's not close enough, you know.
How come?
Well, because you won't make it there. Like if you're far from there, like because if you kick
But
it,
what would
it's
happen?
It's a live ball when
Uh-huh.
you kick it. So, but the thing is, that's uncontested. So you get like they can't rush you or anything.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
So that's the only points? How much is that worth?
That's worth 3 points. So
So it is a lot like football.
Yeah. Well, football is based off rugby.
It is?
Yeah. It's for the guys that rugby, I guess, was a little too complicated for them.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, they just had to simplify it. They're like, oh, I need a break. I need water. Like,
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, it is based off it. There's a lot of similarities, but obviously they both continued to develop in their own ways.
Why do you guys do a scrum?
A scrum is, I mean,
And how does that work?
So a scrum, it's kind of funny. I like to compare it to a jump ball in basketball.
It looks like, yeah.
But the thing is, so yeah, both teams come together, and like obviously the team that is putting the ball in, that has the feed, has the benefit because they know the timing of when the ball is coming in and everything. But so it's like the ultimate contest of measuring strength and technique of the big boys of both teams.
What are you trying to do?
You're trying to push them over or back, you know.
So you can get so the guy behind can get the ball?
Well, so yeah, what you do is they come together,
Right.
and the ball goes in, and then the guy in the middle, they call them the hooker.
Uh-huh.
He hooks the ball back for his team. And so you want to obviously push your team over the ball, but you can also work, like some teams will just hit and lock out, and then the ball comes back and people will work it back. And then
Can only one person touch the ball, or can anybody touch it?
so whoever, like anyone in the scrum can touch it with their feet, but only the guy at the very back can touch it with his hands.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like you can't like assist it along the way with your hands.
Why are you guys so good? Are you guys really great at scrums and you constantly get the ball, or is there one?
I mean, we're good at scrums. I don't know. Like,
is there one reason why you guys are 7-0 and the team to beat?
I mean, I don't know exactly. I mean, we're very hardworking. We're patient, which is good. That's something I've been like really harping on, and our coach has really been harping on our team this season, is having patience, because it's the sort of thing where like they call it like tri-line or white line fever, where like you get close to the end zone and you're like, oh, I want to score. So like you're throwing passes or offloads that are not exactly like well advised or whatever, where like possession is everything in rugby. It's not like football where it's a game of inches. You want to fight for that extra inch. In rugby, you'd be better off to just go down so that your teammates can protect you and the ball to ensure that you guys maintain possession. And so having patience and working phases, eventually they're going to break. They can only play defense for so long.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're patient, eventually you're going to score. And just maintain your cool, you get through,
A mistake will happen.
Exactly. Or they'll commit a penalty, it's just, and that's the beauty of it.
How do you get the ball? Any way you want? Rip that mother from you?
I mean, yeah, you can. It just depends. I mean,
the point is, like, it's because it's not like football. It's not like you get a certain amount of downs. It's like it's always a live ball. It can go either way at any time.
Yeah, but so
how do I want to get the ball?
Well, so for instance, in the game, there's an imaginary line that's the offside line. So that prevents people from just running around the tackle and going to the back and grabbing the ball. That's offsides. It's a penalty. So when a tackle occurs, a player's own teammates go over the top of him to protect him and the ball, but the defense is also able to contest that and push those guys back. Or if the support, like going over top of the player, is slow, they are allowed to take a chance at getting that ball, like so they can grab it. Because the thing is, when you tackle someone, you have to release the tackled player. But also when you're tackled, you have to place the ball back. You have to release the ball. So if the defense were to grab the ball and the guy doesn't let go, it's a penalty on him for not releasing it. But if he does let go and the guy cleanly has his hands on it clean, he can take the ball and it's a turnover. So he
can release it any way he wants.
I mean, you're supposed to place it back and like that's
behind you.
Yeah, behind you. Yeah,
because it can't go forward.
Exactly.
Or parallel. Like he can go parallel.
I mean, yeah, but it wouldn't be wise because it'd be easy for the for the defense. So, I mean, they say, like when you get tackled, like you're not just gonna lay there. Like you have to work and fight to get the ball back. Because then that's more beneficial for your team. It helps out your scrum half with getting the ball to get the ball out. And like,
how long would it take to figure the game out watching it as a fan who just all I know is football or soccer or whatever? I watch normal sports. And I'm going to show up to a rugby match. How long is it going to take for me to figure out, oh, I get it?
I mean, if you have someone who knows rugby sitting by you, it won't take you long at all.
Right.
And also, that's the sort of thing. Sometimes, like if
hockey,
you were to go to a game or whatever, like you wouldn't have that hard of a time finding someone to explain it to you. But I mean, like a lot of things, if people want to know it, I'm like, obviously YouTube is great.
Right.
Or buy like a rugby video game. That's another really good one.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I mean.
Do they make those anymore?
Yeah. Yeah, they make them. I actually don't know the latest one. I don't really play video games, but like they have like Rugby Challenge and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And but yeah, that's like a really good way for people to learn it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, so like there's like with the MLR games, for instance, the announcers, they do a good amount of explaining, at least at the start. But the thing is, like, you don't want to turn away the listeners or the watchers who know it, you know.
Right,
like,
right. Don't talk to me like a baby. I know. It's week 8. I know.
Exactly.
I know downward pressure. Leave me alone.
Like the thing is, you also don't want to scare off the people that have no freaking idea what's going on.
For sure.
So it's like you got to have a happy medium, you know. But what I've kind of come to notice or understand is that like at the beginning of every game, they have just like a little rugby 101, like a little tutorial, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see any reason for that to go away, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if we can bring in more viewers, because that's exactly what we need.
That's what you guys need.
Yeah.
Need viewers, need money.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I hope you get more viewers and more money soon.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And I appreciate you coming on the show.
Hey, my pleasure.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah, really good.
I want to, now I'm going to, when you get out of here, I'm going to start YouTubing rugby. I'm going to try and find you on your Rooney team.
Hey, there
Do
goes.
some stuff. Am I going to see you light anybody up? You got any highlight film? You got any highlight?
I don't
things
have
on
any
YouTube?
highlight films, but I have some good hits out there.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But there goes your Sunday because you're about to fall in love with a new sport.
That's fine with me.
You caught the itch.
It's fine with me. I like falling in love.
Don't we all?
Rugby's not going to steal from me either. So. Oh yeah. Yeah, Matt. Appreciate you, man. Can I get a fist bump from you?
Heck yeah, man.
Hell
My
yeah.
pleasure, bro. My pleasure.
Charlie, thanks for running cameras for me. Everybody, thanks for listening. Go follow. Here's a couple minutes to pimp whatever you'd like to pimp. Tell people how KC Rugby's Blues.
Yeah, check us out on Instagram at KC Blues Rugby. If you guys want my Instagram, at Wirken Maine, WIRKENMANE.
Nice.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna follow you.
Oh, wait, but also, more importantly, November 2nd, 1:30 at Swope Soccer Village. Come watch us beat Palmer up.
This might not be out by then.
That's fine.
Check
us out on YouTube.
Yeah, check it out, see how they won.
Either way, hey, I got to try, right?
Got to. Well, I appreciate it again, man. Good luck in your pro career.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Are you gonna want to stick in New York, or do you want to?
I mean, I'm sticking around there this year.
Yeah,
I like it
nice.
up there a lot.
Hell yeah.
It's a nice place, and we got a good group of guys. So
Nice. Well, that's it, everybody. Peace out. We're out of here.